Paul Revere, ladies and gentlemen. And this is Dan Bidondi, host of TruthRadioShow.com. And April 19th, why is this date so significant and important? A very historical date. So April 19th, as you should know, instead of worrying about, the history of your football team or American Idol, dumb stuff, but as you should know and as historians know, April 19th, back in 1775, is when Paul Revere made that courageous ride to Lexington, Massachusetts to warn everyone that the British were coming. And hours later, Captain John Parker assembled a group of people, regular folks like you and I, in Lexington, Massachusetts, and made a stand against the British, knowing that they were outnumbered 10-1, but they made that stand anyway, and they fired the first shot to let the British know, hey, you know what, even though we lost that little battle, but we let them know, hey, you know what, we're taking a stand against you. We're taking a stand against tyranny because the British wanted to come arrest Samuel Adams, and they wanted to confiscate all the weapons. Again, as we're seeing today, they're trying to confiscate our weapons, classifying patriot groups now as terrorists. I mean, you got the Homeland Security documents, the MIAC report, you got the Southern Poverty Law Center, you got the FBI and all these other criminal element agencies saying that terrorists are gun supporters, Ron Paul supporters, constitutionalists, conservatives, Christians are all terrorists, as they're stating. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to squash everything to do with patriotism in this country. Now, why is April 19th so historic? Because now what they're using that date, the real Patriots Day, to try to squash your liberty, to make you dependent on them. So on April 19th of 1993, what they did to the people in Waco, Texas, the Branch Davidians, led by David Koresh, they killed 70-plus innocent people. Men, women, and children. Most of them were women and children. And they were killing them. The Army Special Forces Delta Force, they drove the tank right through the building, gassed the place, ignited it. Innocent people jumping out of the holes, and they were gunning them down. They killed so many, all these innocent people. And because they said they were terrorists, because they wanted to provide for themselves. But I didn't agree with the Branch Davidians. I didn't. But the thing is, they were violated. They were brutally murdered for no reason. I mean, especially from these evil scum led by Janet Reno and Hillary Clinton, who should be up on charges for this murder. And 2 years later, right on April 19th, again, 2 years later, they wanted to impound it more. To say, no, we got to watch out for these terrorists now. Now it's the patriot groups. Okay? They had tried, there was Oklahoma City bombing. That was the Alfred P. Murrah building, the federal building in downtown Oklahoma City. And they said it was a lone wolf terrorist, Timothy McVeigh, who had a spotless record, incredible, great, well-decorated military record. But they wanted us to believe that he blew up the building when there was other people on record that blew up the building, and his bomb in his car had nothing to do with the building coming down. And the other people that they did catch that wasn't revealed to the media, President Bill Clinton flew them out of the country on an executive order. And Timothy McVeigh took the rap for it as a patsy. And they want us to believe he gets pulled over by a state trooper, he gives himself up. He just blew up a building supposedly and killed a lot of people. Why wouldn't he take his revolver he had on his lap and kill the cop or just keep going, whatever? It doesn't make sense. He was just set up as a patsy, but again, it was to go after domestic terrorists known as patriot groups. But that wasn't enough. Over the years, we had 9/11 and everything else, which was another false flag. But April 19th of 2013, that was days after the Boston bombing, when the FBI and Kraft International, they blew up the Boston Marathon finish line. And they would go right off the bat, they came out against the patriot groups. Because that day, the Oath Keepers every year on April 19th, okay, they have their annual rally. Stuart Rhodes comes and everything else on the Lexington Green Battleground. That's where Captain John Parker fired the first shot in the Revolution. They have the annual rally there. But the city of Lexington pulled their permit, saying you can't be there because you're a patriot group. I was there, okay? The police blocked off the area, and they wouldn't let anybody on there because the federal government was blaming the patriot groups for the Boston bombing. They came out with that game Rainbow Six that teaches all patriots are terrorists. Okay, we had the federal documents. Okay, the MIAC report, the Homeland Security's documents, the FBI's documents, Southern Poverty Law Center's documents, targeting patriots as terrorists. And it's just that crazy, folks. And they want us to believe that patriots are terrorists, but they switched it over to the patsies. The Sarnev brothers which leads to April 19th of 2013, where they locked down, declared official martial law in Watertown, Massachusetts, just to look for 2 people. That's it. 2 people, they locked the entire city down. They were violently kicking people out of the houses. One kid I interviewed, him and his mother, they kidnapped the kid, the police. They threw him in this car violently, because he was just outside of his house, threw him in the car violently, and drove him 2 towns over and dropped him off in the middle of the night. And we got all this on film with Infowars.com and all that. And Lawrence O'Donnell tried to say we were liars. Me, Alex Jones, Ron Paul, Infowars, we're all liars about what happened in Watertown. Alex Jones that day set me up. I was at the Oath Keeper rally when the town of Lexington pulled the permit. I was ready to grab the flag, the 1776 flag, and charge that damn field. I don't care if I would have got arrested or not, to show that resistance is victory. You know, we're taking back our field. I was that close, but I got a call from Alex Jones. Hey, we need you in Watertown. This happened. Lawrence O'Donnell. So I I drove out to Watertown and did that report. But I mean, in last year at the rally, nothing happened. The Oath Keepers were allowed back on the land. But the thing is, it shows you that they're trying to squash anything to do with patriotism, anything to do with being a part of a patriot group. So tightening this up here, it was the aftermath of Boston, April 19th. They declared martial law and official lockdown of Watertown, Massachusetts, utilizing military to police on American soil, which violates posse comitatus and is against the Constitution. The military are not allowed to police on American soil, but they were violently arresting people, violently kicking people out of their homes, pointing guns at reporters, okay? Pointing guns at innocent civilians coming out of their home. And they try to lie and say that never happened. We got it on video, we got pictures, okay? But, and all to look for this one person that they gunned down, the older brother, Dakar Tsanev. They gunned him down. Okay, they ran him over. They tried to say the brother ran him over. No, all the eyewitnesses said, the neighbor said, no. The cops ran him over. He's laying on the ground, bleeding, unconscious, and the cops, get out of the car and plug him, execution style. Then the little brother there, which had nothing to do with it, he was just with the older brother. He had a small white backpack, nothing to do with the bomb. With the bombs were the big black packs. But anyway, shortening this up here, they went after the son of brothers there, the younger brother Tamarin. And now he's facing 30-plus accounts on federal charges and could possibly face execution. And this is totally outrageous, folks. And, what this government's doing is they're trying to squash our patriotism. And again, April 19th, why is this such a significant date? Because April 19th was the start of something great. The start of not just for the United States, but the world. To show, liberty in pursuit of just freedom, you know what I mean? We overcome all these odds back then, 1775, 1776. We were just regular folks with squirrel guns, with little shotguns, what have you, whatever. But we defeated this world's strongest army. We had 3-4%, maybe 5% people that resisted and were awake, and we defeated the world's strongest army. But what the government fears, okay, and I'm talking about the criminal elements in the government, not the honest people who are actually in government, which is very few. But what they fear is an awake public, okay? They fear is an armed public. That's why they're trying to constantly confiscate your guns. And they guise themselves as a liberal. Now, a real liberal was Thomas Jefferson. That's what a real liberal was. But today's version of liberal is weak and pathetic. Same thing with the Republicans. Today's version of conservative is the disgrace. George Washington was a real conservative. Not what they are today. But they use right versus left issues to take your guns away, to take away the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, and just erode the Constitution. And again, to go after patriot groups, say patriots are terrorists. When patriots will never kill anybody in our homeland, and we will defend our land to our death. Yeah, and as Paul Revere said, he said when he got encountered by the British that night on his way to Lexington, they took his horse and everything. They asked him why he's doing this, and he said, you know what? You people love our industry and everything else. I don't know the exact quote, but he said, I'm willing to give my life tonight. And I gave it so many times over, and I'm willing to do it again. And because we're sick of it. You know what I mean? Same thing here. I'm willing to give my life again. Thousands, if not millions of patriots across this country now who are sick of the crap, okay? We're sick of the false flag stage terror attacks. We know you stage Oklahoma, okay? We know you stage 9/11. We know you staged the Boston Marathon. We know the feds blew up the finish line at the Boston Marathon. Okay, we know you staged the Gulf of Tonkin. Okay, we know you staged all these terror attacks. Okay, just to go after our liberties and everything, to make us feel secure that our government's protecting us. Our government's the great big God. Government's our God. They should tell us what to do, force us with inoculations. Okay, tell us what to do with our kids. The state's God, the state's our parents, the state's rules, okay? But you know what? We're not going for that, okay? We're not going for the 1984, okay? We are going for one thing. It's called 1776 scumbags. You know, you come try to take our guns, you come try to take our liberty, we're standing up against you. And I'm sending a direct message, okay? As this April 19th of 2015, I will be at Lexington Green with the Oath Keepers, and I'm going to be there the next day for the reenactment. And I urge everybody in New England that can make it to be there April 19th at 11 a.m. to join the Oath Keepers in their rally. But I'm sending the direct message April 19th to the federal government. Enough is enough, okay? We had enough, and we're not going to take it no more, plain and simple. And the thing is, we're going to send a direct message that we are not afraid of you, okay? By all means, we're not afraid of you. We only had 4 or 5% back in 1775, and Hillary Clinton admitted that they're losing the information war. So, and I'm, talking to the government, yeah, we only had 4 or 5% back then. Now we have well over 50% of Americans that are now awake, that are now pissed off, okay? We had enough, and if you don't know history, you're doomed to repeat it, as Edmund Burke said. Because if you don't know history, okay, every time when Americans' backs were against a wall, even we're outnumbered 10 to 1, hundreds to 1, and we still kicked your asses, okay? And I'm telling you right now, and I don't care if this is politically correct or not, because you can show your political correctness up your PC ass, plain and simple. And I'm going to make this declaration April 19th. This is the line in the sand. No more. That's it. You want to come try to take it, you could try to take our guns. We're going to resist, okay? You're going to try to take our civil liberties, our Constitution. We're going to resist, you know what? And the day, and I'm making this declaration right now, the day Homeland Security, I don't care what kind of agency it is, actually. I don't care if it's the Army. The day the UN peacekeeper troops come down on our streets and dare to say, hey, we'll come and take your guns. And it's going to be one thing that's going to shout out. The New World Order's coming, and that's going to be me marching through the streets like Paul Revere did to let the people know that the New World Order's coming. And we're going to mount up just like Captain John Parker and his crew did, and we're going to resist you, okay? We might lose that battle in the end, but with a war, we will win. And history proves it. Every time tyranny fought us, we lost a lot of battles, but we won the war. And we're going to win this war again in the Second American Revolution. You could bet your tyrannical asses on that. And you could take United Nations and all your tyrannical regimes and get the hell out of our country. And that's you, Barack Obama. That's you, Bill Clinton. That's you, all the Bushes. That's you, Hillary Clinton. All of you. Get your tyrannical asses and get out of our country. That's a direct message. Also take your damn Homeland Security scum, okay, Janet Reno, Janet Napolitano, all these other criminals with you, because we're standing up and we're making a stand April 19th. That's it. That is it. And I speak for myself here at TruthRadioShow.com. I'm making a stand against them. And we'll have millions of patriots behind my back, and we're making a stand against the government to say, you know what? Leave us alone. Enough is enough. You blow up one more time, you stage a terror attack, because we know you staged a whole operation at Sandy Hook too. It was all a stage operation to take our guns. We know that. So we had enough, plain and simple. And I'm going to ride that spirit of Paul Revere. I'm going to ride that spirit of 1776. And I'm going to march right through Lexington this Sunday to let you criminals know, what? Enough is enough. And remember, folks, we need you to come out there, and we need you to stand up against these tyrants. And remember one thing that the government hates is you are the resistance. Dan Bidondi, TruthRadioShow.com. Defending liberty in the spirit of 1776. It's Dan Bidondi on TruthRadioShow.com.